Hello, I'm going to introduce you to the new forecasting functionality inside DDWeb. There are many techniques that can be used for time series forecasting, and within DDWeb we have implemented that which is called Holt-Winters forecasting. Holt-Winters is the label frequently given to a set of procedures that form the core of the exponential smoothing family of forecasting methods. Many companies use a Holt-Winters method to produce short-term demand forecasts when the sales data contains a trend and/or seasonal pattern and is a mainstay approach to business forecasting. As well as being a simple approach to forecasting, where many other approaches are overwhelmingly complicated and require the user to have a lot of experience, Holt-Winters also has the advantage of being able to adapt to changes in trends and seasonal patterns in the time series when they occur. Also, the relative simplicity of the Holt-Winters method compared to some other methods, such as ARIMA, means that execution time for calculating the forecasts is considerably faster. Just to explain the components that make up Holt-Winters forecasting, I want you to imagine that we require monthly sales forecasts. To produce a forecast, the Holt-Winters method needs to estimate up to 3 components of a forecasting equation. 1. The current underlying level of sales. This is the level that remains after we have deseasonalized the sales and attempted to remove the effect of random factors. The current trend in sales, number 2. This is the change in the underlying level that we expect to occur between now and next month. For example, if we estimate the current level is 500 units, and we expect this to be 505 units next month, then our estimated trend is plus 5 units. The third and final part of the equation is the seasonal index. Now, the seasonal index for the month we are forecasting. Let's say our estimate is 1.2. This means that we expect our sales in this month to be 20% above that month's underlying level, showing that a product tends to sell relatively well at that time of year. With all that in mind, I'll now give you a demonstration of the time series plugin within DDWeb. This is the Home tab for forecasting, and it's where you define the data you wish to observe, along with some of the parameters used for applying the Holt-Winters model. For this demonstration, I want to forecast the number of orders we'll receive over the next 12 months. This is a typical kind of query that businesses want answering, the answer to which being extremely useful, as for example, it allows a business to plan their responses to a predicted change in demand, maybe by hiring staff, for example. So to start, I'm going to drag the order table onto my measure, and for the dimension, I'm going to drag the month field. Okay. I'm now interested in finding out if my data contains any seasonal patterns, and I also want to assess the data's suitability for making reliable forecasts and whether any outliers need to be replaced. As we are dealing with monthly data, I know that the seasonal periodicity, which is the number of intervals in each cycle until the pattern of seasonality is repeated, I know that that's going to be 12. So, I click Has Seasonality, and I change the seasonal periodicity to 12. Okay, so with my parameter set, I can now run pre-analysis. Okay, so now that we have the pre-analysis, we can now begin to assess the data. It's telling us that we don't have any outliers. Also, being as the strength of non-randomness is marked as having 3 out of 3 stars, it means that we are more likely to have reliable projections. We also have 3 out of 3 stars for evidence of seasonality according to the seasonal periodicity which we previously set as 12. I'm now ready to make my forecast, but first I would like to set the number of projections to make. Being as I want to make predictions for the next 12 months, I'm now going to change the number of predictions to 12. Okay, and now I'm ready. So, calculate forecast. And now we have our forecast. The forecast is the yellow line and the original data is the blue line. Hovering the mouse over a graph coordinate will display its value. I can see here that the predicted number of orders for the month of June, 6 months later, is 17,275. I can also zoom into any part of the chart in order to give me a more detailed perspective. I can also overlay different parts of the chart in order to facilitate making comparisons. I can view this data also in tabular format by clicking on the Table tab. Again, here I have the original data and the forecasted data. I can also export this data into Word format, which will contain the graph along with the data in tabular format. This is done on the Forecast tab using the print icon. Finally, I can now save my analysis for later use or to share with other users. That's it. I hope you can see how easy yet powerful time series forecasting is inside DD Web. Thanks for watching.